And this looks like Trekland HQ, but we are live. Hey, what I want for Star Trek Day, number 274, whoa, of Trekland Tuesdays live right here with Dr. Trek Larry Nemechek coming at you from the heart of Trekland, wherever we may be, and we're on the road, for some clarity, sanity, and the big picture in all things Star Trek. Make sure I got my stuff around me. Yes, it is. It is Tuesday, and I am still on the road. So put up with my fadey wadies here. How are you all doing? How are you up for another Tuesday? Because it's the Tuesday. Yes, it's the Tuesday of Star Trek week. Now, if you are finding us for the first time here on Tuesdays Live on Trekland, jump in the chat. Say where you're from. Say hello. We've got a great community. The TTLers here are going to make you feel welcome. I will jump into that chat in just a little bit, but I want to go through the opening topic here, get off this soapbox. And then we got some Parrot Analytics ratings, some fresh ones, and some sidebars to look at in just a little bit. And hey, if you are watching me later on YouTube, try to catch us live some Tuesday because we're having a lot of fun here. A lot of fun. Yes, I'm on the road. I'm a little bit off put, but we're here because I'm excited. It's been a whole week now since Star Trek Las Vegas. This week, the news is all about Star Trek Day. And I got to take care of some old business first, though, in between those two events. I totally forgot this last week. I was on the road last week, obviously. And I don't know. It's become a tradition in the era of the STLV's Star Trek Las Vegas's since I started doing Trekland Tuesdays Live, these 5 years or so. I mean, I don't have a fetish about armbands, but it turned into a thing about just holding on to mine until I got home, like the next day, and released it. So I totally forgot to do that last week. So here we go. Ironically, there goes the green COVID band that showed you had your check-in and your Vax records and everything. And then here's my, there we go. Now I'm official. I realized last week I hadn't done that, and I thought, well, I can't do it off camera. I have to wait. So yay. But I'm not attached to the armbands because I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward with this week. Yes, Thursday is Star Trek Day. And if you don't know, that's the anniversary of the first showing of the first episode of Star Trek. It's been used it's amazing the growth of this. The current corporate climate here, of course, there was nothing for the 12 years after Enterprise went down. There's been a long whole history of even like noticing anniversaries, and it took 10 years before the corporation even started thinking about every 5 years would be something fun to mark. So yeah, that started up at about Star Trek 20, the 20th anniversary in 86, because suddenly everything was blooming again with the new series, with Star Trek 4 being such a hit, and Paramount thinking, oh, maybe we should mark this. To be fair, it was also a revolution in just the way all marketing and licensing had been done. I mean, Star Wars had been out for 10 years, but it took Star Trek a while to catch up. The conflux, the great critical mass of Star Trek 4 being such a hit, celebrating the original series, being a global hit, and then announcing finally that there'd be a return to Star Trek on small screen TV. That seemed like a good confluence to come up and actually design a 20th anniversary logo. Simple though it was. But you can bet, though, that 10 years before, Gene and Majel had been in there pitching with the Star Trek Tennial on the 10-year anniversary, in line with everybody being celebrating or sick of celebrating the bicentennial of the U.S. in 1976. So, yeah, anniversaries have been a thing, but for a long time, September 8th, we just said, hey, happy Star Trek birthday. Happy birthday, Star Trek. Happy, it was a thing it was very inside, hush, hush, chic, chic. Surely wasn't broadly marketed, and only the hardcore, but then, only the hardcore everything Star Trek were doing anything. You were still in the closet. What, you're going to run Super Bowl commercials for Star Trek? No, that's not going to happen. So, I mean, the evolution of what this day has kind of followed where we were in the culture. Have the geeks won yet? No, not quite. Are you still just showing up at your club meetings and just telling each other happy Star Trek anniversary? Marking the 5th and the 10th anniversary was a big deal back then. But something happened. I guess it was the return of what's in my mind is seeing before they'd even aired, seeing the entire 82 member cast of the pilot and first 3 episodes of Discovery in 2017 coming later in September, watching that commercial fly by, just that square for Instagram of every cast member saying happy Star Trek Day, happy Star Trek Day. And I remember thinking, oh, so now it's not Star Trek birthday, it's not Star Trek anniversary, it's just Star Trek Day. Ooh, we've arrived. You get to shorten whatever the thing is to just day. Yay. And that's where it's been. And of course, yes, there was a launch. It starts with social media campaigns. The big plans for an event got waylaid by COVID. Divided up between the coasts. Still, last year was going to be the first big, huge event. And then COVID, the return of COVID part 2, sidelined that. And there was a small in-person, what were we, 100 people? Something. But global streaming. I've just been, but the intent was good. The year before that, the first year pandemic, it was a day, I should say, a day of really good virtual panels because, people catch on quick. And the joke progressive or Silent Life sketch of a Zoom meeting, do you remember this? From March and April? By September was old news. So yes, the world was geared up for virtual streaming the way we had been doing for 5 years. By that fall, and the first Star Trek Day was really a day of virtual panels. So it goes hybrid for 2021, hopefully with the live, but still live and streaming and some attached like red carpet interviews. The live event, the swag bags, there have been people watching around the world. But what's interesting, though, is look at this week, and we're going to talk about this week's program. But this week, I saw someone the other day said, oh, they're starting at noon Pacific. Didn't the first one start at 5? Well, guess what's happened? Powers that be at Paramount and all things marketing and socials, someone realized that you could include Europe if you went midday in the US. What a concept. If only I'd been, I have been. We've been doing that for everything I do in Trekland. If it's live, I try to do, for the most part, if I can, in the midday to include the Europeans. Now, sometimes we have evening events, obviously. But if it's an open book, and the way we did Life Support Live with Dr. Ali, tried to make it in the middle of the day so we could have the Europeans. Now, I saw they specifically listed noon Pacific, 8 British summertime. Excuse me, gang. I did not see a time listed for Central European. Does that mean all you, and some of you in the chat, I know will be popping up. Does that mean that there's still some geo-blocking going and Europe won't be able, or parts of Europe won't be able to see the events? Well, I hope not, because yes, let's have it at noon California time so that Europe can be in on it. And actually, if you're watching, a lot of East Asia, a lot of parts of Asia would get it in the morning, Thursday morning. So, step forward. We're stepping into what tried to be last year, and now it is, and it's a full day. And yes, let me just say, we all know what was yesterday's cute little insidious trivia question is now widely known. Before 2 days before the hallowed September 8th date in 1966 of the NBC, NBC, the network that made it, the NBC early sneak peek fall premiere week showing of the Man Trap on December at what, 8 o'clock? 7 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock, whatever it was. On September 8th, Thursday, September 8th. Yes, we know that. In Canada, on the CBC, it was actually shown 2 days before that. So the Man Trap and all things Star Trek actually hit a broad audience on September 6th, 1966. But you can't go with 666. So that's a little squeamish. So we're going to, Canada, we're going to let you have the asterisk. And we're going to keep September 8th here because it's the day that's always been celebrated, as long as people have been celebrating a day. But this Thursday is going to be awesome. In case you haven't heard, there's 5 Star Treks on the air now. They're all coming and going. You're going to be able to find this on the Star Trek, on the Paramount Plus and the Paramount YouTubes and everything. But it does kick off at noon. Now there's panels, there's a set programming, but they've also got their attempt at trying to be global beyond just the virtual streaming. There are, before we get to the panels, actually to Wednesday and Thursday, there are augmented reality Delta portrait stands in LA, Chicago, and New York. You gotta look up the details of where to go. But each location, there are 3 Star Trek Deltas. Each one is 7 foot tall, like the icons like we have at Vegas. And they all have QR codes that when you scan them on Instagram, you can transform the object into a mixed reality portal that will bring you into the world of Star Trek. So basically, you'll come away with a little photo op, augmented reality bit, which is very cool. It's not worldwide global where you are. We're not beaming you into something everywhere, but they've at least tried to get it out and around a little bit. It's at the Grove in Los Angeles, at Hudson Yards in New York, and Water Tower Place in Chicago. Just so you know. You need your QR reader. Pardon moi. It's also at the Science Museum in London. It's at the Shopping Cidades in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And yes, the Brazil dates are Thursday and Friday. And it's at Federation Square in Melbourne, Australia. So we are global with the augment. Good on Star Trek. They've really been busting it open here as the cessation of the pandemic has been letting them do it. So there is a 6-way attempt there going global around the world. Now you can live stream the regular program starting at noon on their Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and on TikTok. Isn't that a little long for 4,700 little 30-second segments on TikTok? I guess. I don't know. I hope each one has a clever punchline to end with. That'll be interesting. They're going to pick out a fan to be made up into a Star Trek alien, put on your best face. They're going to do a cosplay runway locally, which I guess is in LA. Maybe there's a remote somewhere else. We'll see. But remotely, while this is going on in LA, Wilson Cruz is going to give a set tour from Toronto where they're filming Discovery. There's the thing. Discovery's hard at it right now. So no one is away. And there is no set Discovery conversation. So Wilson's going to jump in there with a set tour to fill in for the lack of a Discovery thing. There'll be a Nichelle Nichols tribute. And then the 4... Jackie Cox from RuPaul's Drag Race, who was a hit in Chicago at Mission Chicago, and Mary Chiefo, yay, Mary the Chief, will be back. Laurel will be interviewing cast members from past to present on the red carpet. All the live guests who were there in LA at the Skirball Center across town. Here's the deal. Somewhere between me being away from home and Janet's surgery bubble, I actually had to not RSVP. I will not be there live. So I will be watching remotely like all of you. So I can't wait to see how it comes. I'll be having that experience this year. Same as it was 2 years ago in the middle of the pandemic. When I still remember the Strange New Worlds panel when we got introduced to most of the writing staff. And I realized that Star Trek Strange New Worlds was in really good hands because most of the writing staff who were on the panel were really emotional about being there. And I think the proof's been in the pudding or on the screen. Check your tortured metaphor. So yeah, we've got a Picard panel with Jerry Ryan and Michelle Hurd. Lower Decks with Tawny Newsome, of course, who's Mariner. Noelle Wells, who's Tendi, and Don Lewis, who's Captain Freeman. Prodigy will have Brett Gray, who's Dahl, and Kate Mulgrew. And Strange New Worlds will have a huge lineup. They've got Rebecca Romaine, Jess Bush, Christina Chong, Celia Rose Gooding, Melissa Navia, and Babs Olusemokan. It's gonna take me a while to get it spelled right, but I'm always gonna make the effort. Pronounced right. So good focus on the non-Anson cast. That Anson gets too much attention anyway. Good on him. That's a huge cast. That's a huge lineup. It starts at noon Pacific. Uh, I'm looking for how long. It's at least 3 hours. I know it's going to take a while to get through all of this. So yeah, my question today is it's might as well treat Star Trek Day like a holiday. I don't know. Do you have a list? Do you have your Star Trek Day gift list? What do I want for Star Trek Day? Well, first of all, for Star Trek Day, I want dates. I want dates. I want to know what's up next. What is up next? Well, Discovery is in the middle of, it's not going to be Discovery. What would it be? What would it be? It would seem to be maybe Picard. But Picard was the last live action down. Did we do that? No, I'm sorry. Strange New Worlds obviously was. So it's not Strange New Worlds. Is Strange New going to bump to next year? What's going to happen? I want dates. I want dates. We've got Lower Decks going. Yay. Can we please have the dates for Prodigy? Maybe Prodigy would finally have its breakout. Why? I really don't like feeling like I'm doing deja vu with Fox handling Firefly again when I watch how poor Prodigy's being handled. I mean, I think Kate, all that cast, Cadet Alice, they all deserve better than to have the poor show strung out. There's no need for it. There's no production need for it now. They've completed its Star Trek mission in April. Aaron and Kevin Hageman told me that they had, was it Dan? I think it was Dan. Told me that they had just finished writing the 40th, i.e., the end of of another season batch. So, okay, maybe they're the end of that, but surely they've got more than 10 ready to go. Another 10 should be ready to go by now. Can we please just have an uninterrupted? And maybe the world will continue to find out. This started to happen, and then it immediately went away when they stopped running the new episodes. But there were a lot more adults watching Prodigy than adults with kids. I'm going to tell you, because it really there were some intriguing plot points once you brought in not only the real Janeway, but the Mystery of Chakotay, his crew, and some of the other species. They were just laying it out there with Star Trek canon and background and a lot of fun points and the mystery on 3 or 4 levels of what the hell was going on. And how did some Alpha Quadrant people wind up in the Delta Quadrant only 3 or 4 years after Voyager's return? 2 years, actually. So, okay, 3, 4, actually. I'm thinking of Lower Decks. All that said, there are a Cation. What's the little Cation baby? I just keep wondering about that Cation kid. Yeah, my gift list. What I want for Star Trek Day is a firm day to roll out the rest of Prodigy for starters. And then, I could help not but notice that the Picard panel was Jerry and Michelle. Not the TNG cast, the Ballyhooed reunion bunch. Of course, they've done this a million times, conventions. Live action with a virtual panel going on is, well, I mean, they've lived through the pandemic, I know. But Jerry and Michelle, could there be some announcement sometime in the day of what's going to take the Picard slot in the Ballyhooed Star Trek 5 so that we get 10 episodes apiece, 5 seasons? That's series. That's 50 episodes. That's almost Fresh Trek a year, every week for a year. What is going to be the next show? There's the Ballyhooed 2 floating out there. People say, oh, it's Section 31. It's the Academy show. Maybe not so sure. Maybe they're still in the cards, but maybe they're not next up. I mean, and, if we wanted to, somebody wants to get off on the stodginess of CBS and Paramount, I look no further than how fast they reacted to the public demand, nay, the tsunami, demanding an Anson Mount and a Strange New Worlds, demanding a Captain Pike show. That didn't take long to put together. So might we see something arising out of public demand? I don't know. Now, the hosts for the day, the stage hosts are going to be Tawny Beckett Mary, Tawny Newsom, and Paul F. Tompkins. who's her partner in crime. Often, he's a voice on. He's voices on Lower Decks. They're going to be apparently the stage hosts. So we will see. It is 2 hours, guys. It is 2 hours of the live stream panels, and some of these sidebars. So noon to 2. That's 8 to 10 in the UK. What will get packed? What will be packed into those 4 hours? Basically, that means 30 minutes for a panel. When you've got two folks, when you've got two at a time, that's going to be still pretty wide open. Lower Decks, are we going to get more information about the strange new crossover, or will that wait for Strange New Worlds? I don't know. Prodigy deserves its time. Strange New Worlds, they are hard at it. Basically finished on season 2, and they're at it for season 3. Harry Alonzo Myers has talked about they've been writing on 3, if not back at it. So dates, gang. But what about plot points? Now, famously, Jonathan showed up at STLV, which is no longer licensed. It's cooperative. It's in alliance, but it's no longer fully licensed. So all the bells and whistles, the cherry on top things like the exhibits and the authorization for the big giveaways, spoilers. Well, that's pretty much now down for convention-wise, is down for the missions, right? So next year it's Mission Chicago or Mission Seattle over Memorial Day weekend. But of course, Paramount wants to compete with everybody else at San Diego. So yeah, we got some headlines at San Diego. And Star Trek Day is their one. It's like celebration. It's like no, that's like mission. Star Trek Day is like May the 4th. It's Star Trek's own little gift into it that it can control. It doesn't need the overhead of a convention. Although there's a nice live event going on, but it's nothing like staging a convention through a vendor, through a third party, and it's nothing like having to go down and deal with a huge event like Comic-Con. So they can be very compact about rolling out the goodies, and it's at a different point in time in the year. So now you've got a spring, you've got a summer, and you've got an early fall. What are going to be the headlines that they release here? Will it be the show that takes Picard's place? That would be on my list. Will it somehow involve Seven and Raffi? I don't know. We'll have to see what Jerry and Michelle tell us. All the shows are hitting on such cylinders right now. Here's the thing. The one show that has been largely quiet in all this, and I'm just going to say this, and I do it too. People are so excited or defensive or eager to see what's going on with the last season of Picard, its replacement, Lower Decks, oh my gosh, Prodigy, give it a chance, get hooked, and yeah, Strange New Worlds. What always gets left out of the conversation, at least in many circles? Well, yeah, Discovery, the big brother of the bunch, the old man on the lot. And a lot of people would say, well, I kid about Discovery being a different show every season. And it's up there in Toronto, where it's not really, it's not very LA-centric. Even Strange New Worlds feels more LA-centric, and it's in Toronto. But that's just because it's new and fresh, and maybe when they're 5 years old, they'll look old and tired too. I'm kidding. Because here's what I'm hearing from folks that work on Discovery. Discovery is that this season, for the 5th season, they're just going balls to the wall. That they are just going all out. It's going to be a huge, I've heard people just excited, but really, I don't say exhausted, but really working hard on what the 5th season is going to be. Now, I don't think anybody sloughs off any season of television, much less a Star Trek. So they've all been hardworking crews and hardworking years, but I'm just hearing people say that this year is going to be like no other. Haha. So in a way, it's interesting that they're working so hard that there is no dedicated panel. But of the 5 shows, it's the one that's actively going right now. And it's the one that might benefit the most from a set tour live with, all the set crew junk laying around. I hope they don't pretty up the sets too much. I'd really love to see it be a working set. So I don't know. What about you? We've got the chat going here. What are you curious about? Now, everyone's got their favorites. I think, are we finally getting to the point where it's okay to have a favorite and a not so favorite? I mean, are we finally dealing with the chunk of online fandom, much less fake online fandom that's gonna, troll about everything? Um, what do you think? Has the percentage of that gone? I keep thinking in the last year or so that the percentage of just the outright trolls has really, really been on the decline. And I don't think it's because Star Trek has gone off the Doomsday Machine's, perimeter alert. I think Star Trek's been very much in our mindset, and we've had great shows. In fact, I'm gonna talk about that in a second. In fact, why don't I talk about that now? Here's why I don't think that's true. Now I'm gonna skip ahead. We're gonna do our regular parrots. And if you're not curious what the Parrot Analytics is a company that tried to get a handle on measuring TV show popularity without using the Nielsen's, which are out in public because they help set ad rates. So everything is very transparent. But of course, there are no ads or supposed to not be ads on the digital channels. And something was needed to be decided. So since 2017, we've been following the Parrot Analytics weekly ratings, highs and lows for Star Trek in or out. And of course, things are always hotter when there's fresh episodes. They're basically measuring with a lot of math and a lot of algorithmic magic. They're still measuring basically the online buzz of a show, pulling in from whatever they can in real life. And we've been following that for so long. But here's the thing. They supply an awful lot of data to an awful lot of networks and studios. And they don't just do the US. We track. After the break, I'll get back to the top 10 this week. And yes, there was a top 10 list. Hello. Why can't I get out of this? I'm just trying to get back to what they posted recently about the first quarter and the second quarter for global demand. The most, as they put it, the most in-demand sci-fi streaming original series. And for the first quarter, this is the US only. In the first quarter, it was Mandalorian. The first quarter, January, February, March. Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Stranger Things, The Expanse, and then Picard, which started late in the quarter. It was fourth. We're talking 40 times more popular than the average show as they measure, then 37, 35, 23, and 21, with Discovery right behind Picard, 21 and 20. And then a big drop down to Station 11 at 15 times. So that was first quarter 2022. Second quarter, just to catch up on this is second quarter global. Second quarter global, which would be April, May, June. Obi-Wan, 75 times more popular than an average show. This is global. Spy X Family, Ms. Marvel, and Strange New Worlds was the fourth. Yes, I say that again, was the fourth most in-demand show, the fourth most talked about online show in the world. And they measured dozens of countries. Yeah, the US is the biggest single market. And then there's UK and Germany and Australia and all that, and Canada, all the rest down. But India, China, everything is in here. The small countries, the large. Strange New Worlds at 40 times the popularity of an average show worldwide. And these are not just, as you could tell, these are not just sci-fi. These are the premieres for 30 days after their premiere in that quarter. And there was some buzz about this, but it was right ahead of Tokyo Vice, 40.4 to 40.1. So, gang, when and we'll talk about the parrots in our regular time, but I mean, Star Trek globally is no slouch there, at least as far as the parrots measure it. So, yeah. We are here. The news of what will follow will be really interesting. What do you think? What's on your gift list for Star Trek Day? Is it like a holiday to you? I mean, it's only going to be 2 hours virtual here, but it'll be right in the middle of the day. I'm happy, and I hope people are taking note. This is the first time that it's been global. I mean, it's not just the shift in time, it's the actual recognition that they need to do this. And, maybe this is mending fences for some of the debacles of the last year in the rough rollout here when someone didn't quite have as global an attitude, or they put the priority of getting things done biggest, fastest, quickest over having things rolled out the smoothest and the most consistently. Whether those are just unavoidable lessons of an expansion time, or whether those are lessons that have been learned and will be applied indifferently the next time there is a hiccup in process, we'll have to see. So I'm curious to see how many of you have checked it out. How many of our Europeans will be able to see Star Trek Day on Thursday. And yes, some of the global markets, it will be into, Australia will be into, Friday morning. So we'll see. We'll see about that. We'll see about how these pop-ups look, how these virtual deltas look. Gang, we're going to take a break here, and I want to be right back in just a second. We'll get into the chat. We'll get into the parrots, but I'm signless because I'm on the road, but I do want to remind you that we are back. We are back in a big way with Portal 47. Portal 47 in a way, and I'm so excited because Tim Peel is our guest tomorrow night in a delayed week. Yeah, I'm excited for all of our Patreons, I should say. I don't have my list with me again, but hey, it's $5 and $10 a month. We just changed over a new month. If you want to come support the streaming that we're doing here at Trekland, it's the Trekland way. It's not the same old you get everywhere else on the internet, thank goodness. If somebody else is going to repeat a headline 15 times, I'll let them. And maybe on the 16th time, I'll find the angle everyone else is missing. It's really not that hard when you've been around Trekland as long as I have. But I do want to thank all our TTL Club and our Patreons for being there. You know who you are, and I will get back to the thank yous online next weekend. Also, though, the big news, boy, is that the Trek Files is back for season 9. It is so special. We recorded live episodes at STLV. Up right now as we speak. The season premiere of season 9 is up with none other than Andy Richardson Kindred, I should say, Andrea. She went by Andy in the 60s when she was Gene Coon's executive assistant. She has a book coming, her memoir. She sold a special memoir edition at STLV, but I've got her back here. We had her live in LA 5 years ago. Couldn't get her on stage at Vegas. We got her on stage at Vegas. We have the hour there. We've got these 2 hours. I've got the things we recorded a few years ago. She lives in Australia. That's why she is a stranger to the con circuit, the American con circuit anyway. But she has a life so far behind, so far beyond her 2 years on Star Trek that her distant relatives, her distant family history is amazing. Her own life, and she's 83 now. She is a force of nature. I can't wait for you to go over. We're going to have some special video of this one too, because we recorded it live, which was awesome on so many levels. Number one, you get to see me and the guest going at it live. Number two, we set it up like an old-time radio show so that John Champion is doing his voiceover, and the lovely and talented Jessica Lynn Verity does her sultry femme fatale intro live. So that was a lot of fun to finally get to do that and then have Andy on with us. So you want to check that out. As always, the whole back catalog is still there too, but I'm so glad to be back for season 9 and those 2 special episodes, this one and then coming up very soon. Yay. Also want to remind you that we're into the build-up year. Next July, Terrace Cassidy at Geek Nation Tours and I are going to be offering the big tour we have not done since 2016. It's going to be 10 days. It's going to be more celebrity filled of location sites around not just Los Angeles, but San Francisco as well. We're calling it the West Coast Away Mission from GNT. I'll be leading it. It's maxed at 18 people. So it's going to be small, intimate. We do not overflow a bus. We don't go to 2 or 3 buses with mic'd in, narration and experience. So we need 10 to make, but we max at 18. So you've got plenty of time to save your pennies. That's coming up. I'm going to be offering cruise cruise adjacent tours in February when the official cruise takes off from LA, at least the day before and the day after. And as always, I'm always open now that we're reopened to offering our Trekland Treks day tour, the ones that you customize for yourself, for you and your group. Your group could be up to 8, 10, 12 people. We could do a minibus. Normally it's 1, 2, 3 people. I love doing that, just driving around, leading you from your hotel room to hotel room. That's all there at LarryNemechek.com too. You can check it out, or go to TreklandTreks.com as well. You just want to know about the big tour coming next July. It's standalone. It doesn't lead into any convention. That's a new thing as well. So much new happening that we are so ready to overdo and roll out these experiences for everybody. Have I left anything out? No. I'm going to be watching Star Trek Day along with you remotely, virtually, enjoying seeing how Paramount pulls this off, and wishing for next year. And I will be back there live after another year of apparently 50 of 52 weeks of straight Star Trek, however it comes down the pike. Yeah. Anyway, it's great to be here with you too. Again, if you're watching us later on YouTube, try to join us live some Tuesday afternoon when you can, at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. British time, and 10 p.m. Central European. Till next time we meet. Stay healthy. You have to do all that you can to stay healthy. There was kind of an outbreak out of Star Trek Las Vegas, STLV. And yes, it got me, despite our best efforts and a lot of fine folks. But I'm doing just fine, and we will be back home in and around hospital surgeries and the long roads home, but we will be back next week. But wherever you are, do all the things. We've still got a winter to go to, and heaven forbid, let's just hope that this thing has run its course about spewing variants. The variant booster is out. Those of you who get to take it, yay. I would help you do that. Hope you do that. So stay healthy, do all the things. Stay woke, check the sources. Oh my God, we're in election campaign season here in the US, and you never know what's going to be happening. So check the sources. And Trek well, everybody. Another one. All right. Let's jump on in here with the parrots. Now, I gave you, that was a really interesting graphic. Let me just repeat that again. Star Trek Strange New Worlds for the second quarter across April, May, and June was the number 4 global show of any genre to be premiering. I left that out. Of the series that premiered in the second quarter, it was the number 4 show, which is still a huge thing. It's still a huge thing. As for the regular parrots, well, there's no fresh live action Star Trek premiering. And sadly, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's 30 minutes. Maybe it's, I don't know. But the animated Treks just cannot break into the top 10. Now, we're not with the top 10. They're still doing very well. There's just something that's not Picard or Strange New Worlds or Discovery about those guys and gals. So yes, the last week, and there was one posted, this last week in the US, the top 10, Stranger Things, and you heard my explanation, right? You know how these are, the parrots are, yeah. Stranger Things is now 85.5 times more popular than the average show, followed by She-Hulk, Only Murders in the Building, The Mandalorian, The Orville. Wait a minute. No, this is right. This is true. Oh, gang. This end of August, early September around Star Trek days got me bamboozled with the single-digit days. We are right. These are the most recent numbers. Mandalorian, and then the Orville. The Orville hanging in at number 5. Cobra Kai, The Boys, Titans, The Witcher, and Handmaid's Tale. Remains up there, 25.3 times more popular than an average show. All of these are the digital onlys. Now we can look at the overalls. Game of Thrones is still number 1. Good God. Who knew that swords and medieval gore and a little bit of sex would be so long lasting? Is the SCA membership roll mushrooming? Did I miss something here? Did I not see the press release about Medieval Feast, Joust, etc. Incorporated? Oh, Game of Thrones is 122 times. Then way behind that, Stranger Things are number 1 digital. And then Breaking Bad, yeah, because of Better Call Saul, which is 5th. SpongeBob in between those, House of the Dragon, Saturday Night Live, Rick and Morty, One Piece, and Sesame Street, all for their various reasons where they are. That's the overall top 10 in the US for the last week. A lot of things are still, it feels like everyone's waiting for the next big thing to come along. Things have ended. Things are, rotating around. But just to say, and remember this, the top 10 digitals, the number 10 was 25.8. Okay, look at this. Picard is long gone from having a fresh episode. There may be the buzz from all this season 3 TNG reunion bit, the debate over what ship and what and where and who said what and who showed what. Picard is sitting at 17.0 over the last 30 days trend line. It's down 19%. The trend line has been about flat, though, over 60 days. So it's still really wildly popular. Strange New Worlds, with all the buzz about the crossover show, about just the general rookie season huzzas, it's sitting at 19.4. Now, it's fresher out of its last episode than Picard is, right? So it's still a couple of points higher than Picard. It's down 31.3% over the last 30 days. It's cooling off big time since its finale, right? Lower Decks is going to be into its 3rd week, so that's how long that's been. But the trend line over 60 days has been flat. So that's just a sign of how popular it was while it was dispensing. It's still 97% more popular than all other action adventure shows here. And Lower Decks. Now, Lower Decks is the series that's on currently, right? Is it in the top 10? No. It's sitting at 14.0, though, which is just a few points behind Picard. Where is that? Is that in the 2nd 10 in the US? Is that in the 3rd 10? I don't know, but when you get to Lower Decks, their trend line is up. It's up nearly 5%. The trend line over 60 days is definitely up. Well, there you go. That's the fresh shows. Everybody's talking about it, buzzing about it. And yeah, it's more popular than 97% of all the other animated shows. So what's going to happen? Does Lower Decks just need a huge breakthrough? What's it going to take for Lower Decks to bust through and get enough new eyeballs out there, get enough new people buzzing about it? I mean, have you been talking? Have you been doing your weekly parrot share to boost Star Trek? It's your citizenship duty as a member of Trekland to do all that. Well, that's the parrots in all of the ways. Hello. I can't. I'm trying to touch screen here. How about we do this? How about I, get how about I get a cursor and do this like it's supposed to be done? I wish I had my mouse. So everybody be gentle with me here. But let's go back. We're going to back scroll. Check out the chat, everybody, like we do every week. And again, if you're new, I'm just now getting to this, but I will read through everything. I'm always looking for questions, actual questions. So we will see what's going on. Hey, JR. Yes, it is pre-Star Trek Day Eve. I've celebrated Star Trek Day Eve before, though. Let's see. Hi, back at you, Chuck A. Uh-oh. That's so weird. Boom. Let's see. Everybody's here. Everybody's here. Well, Marina, No, you didn't miss it. It just felt like I nearly did. That's all. Let me get this where I'm grabbing. All righty. Hey, Kimber, it's nice to have you with us. I know you've been with us before, but no, you didn't miss it. On the road, it's just a little hinkier to get things lined up. That's all. Yes, John, you're looking at your watch. Let's see if we can't do better on this next week. You're here. What were you complaining about? Come on. Right. Let's see. Okay. Hey, Dave. And once again, I'm so sorry I didn't see you more at Vegas, man. We didn't get you to the Portal 47 live dive. Hey, Susan. I mean, a lot of you have been in with us every week, but it's good to see everybody bopping in here on Star Trek Eve. Yeah. Hey, Matt. Hola y namaskar, Trekkies and Orvillians. Yes. Hello, Maria. It was good to meet you at the Newbies and Solo Travelers meetup the first night of Vegas. I do remember you. I hope you had a good time. You won something, right? No, I just yelled. I just embarrassed you and introduced you. Maybe it wasn't embarrassing. Maybe not. Oh, you like that? Confluence? Actually, confluence is the word for how much clout your fan organization event has. Well, San Diego Comic-Con carries about as much confluence as anything. That's what it really means. And that's so funny that I never thought of it till now. There we are. Howdy Di. Good to see you. Yeah. Pandemic 2, the wrath of COVID. Exactly. Let's see. A question. Since before your sun burned hot in space, I am looking for a Karnak question. Last time they did stream STD, it was not geo-blocked, at least not on international StarTrek.com. So, Christoph, I knew you'd know. If it wasn't geo-blocked, it was just going to be what, 2 in the morning or something? Made you all stay up at midnight? Let's see what's going on. What's next? It's just hinky without a mouse, and I forgot my mouse. There's an NBC ad out there, Scott says, from 66. It says Trek will be premiering on September 15th. Any idea why it was bumped week going on the 8th? There was an ad that said, basically, it was the whole week. NBC's TV week was going to premiere, and whether it was a last-minute decision or whether it was part of the corporate strategy moving slow in those days, pre-internet, they had a sneak peek week, and everything on NBC that was new premiered early. So Star Trek wound up, or we could have been celebrating September 15th and having the Canadians yell that it was really September 13th. So there you go. I'm curious how is my audio? Not that out of sync, but I'm just hoping it's good because I've got my good mic. I didn't have the good mic out last week. I have it out tonight, but it's not on a real stand. So we're kind of improvising just a little bit here. Yes, and I agree, Chuck. Star Trek Day should be great. There you go, Maria. Are you going to get over and partake of that? You'll have to tell us what happened at the Sao Paulo installation there. Yay. No details available yet as far as precise location. Yes, I think you said this just as I was getting around to reading it, which is 30 acres in size. Marina, if there's anyone in this world who I know will figure out exactly where it is and then get it broadcast, it's our local reporter in New York, Marina Kravchuk, our local Trekster. You will get it out there. You will tell the masses. Kimber could have had a slot for a show that didn't make it to airing that they needed to fill. Yeah. Yes, Glenn. You couldn't tell. No, I'm doing this all on purpose. Do you like the shimmer effect? Ooh. Oh, now I can't shimmer to save myself. It's only when you have a black glass. This is the thing. Jim, I didn't even get into this. Is there really going to be a Janeway show? Could it be? Could that be as quick a turnaround, as in demand as Strange New Worlds? Will it break the record? Of course, a lot of things are going to move faster, so they're not having to deal with COVID protocols so much. Yay. So, yay, Maria, you have to tell us. You have to report back and let us know how it was. If you post, sure, but anyway. Kimber, love Wilson. Well, who doesn't? I know, Marina. I know. Prodigy really has a fascinating backstory going, and they're so good about their science and their stellar cartography, fictional layout on both ends. They've been so, and Aaron is, I mean, they're so excited. They are so excited. Glenn, why do I even post this? I'm only putting it up there for the record. This will not make the YouTube cut, obviously. No, no, Dave. He can't help himself. It's that bacon. It just stays with you the whole day. Well, see, this is what I thought. I thought that was a late edition, but I didn't have it right here at my fingertips. But I'm glad. I was thinking that he was going to be a late edition as well. So they were just going to see. How about a panel with all the YouTube hosts? You mean like Will and then what's her face and then Matt Mira? Is that what you? I'm just gonna say, I think they have upped their game on hosting from last year. I think so. Hello back at you, Galinda. Yeah. Maria, when I said dates, I meant trailers too. Did I not say trailers? Yeah, we want promos. We want all of it. Well, Kimber, that's what I would think. You would think that not only was Prodigy next, that it would get its run. What's interesting is that means it'll be 20 weeks without live action, which compared to the old days, we went 12 years without live action fresh. So yay. Glad to see everybody chiming in for Prodigy. Chuck, you have good taste. Yay. Okie dokie. Hey, Carl. Speaking of anniversaries, you really enjoyed it for the 50th when Svengoolie, the horror show host, dressed up in a red shirt and aired The Man Trap instead of a cheesy horror movie. That was cool. I didn't realize that, but good on him for doing it. It was the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. Who's asleep at the wheel if you're in entertainment? Right? I did not know that, so thanks for that. Now what? You've been pissed at Annie, since he showed up with that suit jacket and then refused to do a selfie with me. Oh, Anson Mount. I didn't know you were on such good personal terms with him. Apparently, maybe you should reconsider the use of the term Annie for Anson. Yeah. Very true. Hey, Brian, it's been a while. What are you saying? One positive thing about the current Trek is it's doing way better than any DC project with Warner Brothers right now. That's true. I mean, they're doing better, and they seem to have a clue. And I would like to say that the promotion makes sense. It's just cohesive. I mean, it's hard to get great synergy going again when you were down for so long, 12 years, episodic, no episodic. And, a whole new generation, the tech of TV, the landscape, the paradigm of streaming wasn't around. I mean, the paradigm of having the Sopranos and HBO win Emmys gave way to the paradigm of having streaming shows win Emmys. And the old broadcast networks just left behind as dinosaurs. That all changed in between Enterprise and Discovery. The world so changed. So yes. But boy, it is true. One other thing I should have said, should have popped this this was very interesting too, and I meant to share this. This could almost be a whole topic by itself. Parrot, back to parrots, has this chart, and I found this, okay, in front of me. See? This chart basically is looking at the 5 top streaming platforms, right? HBO Max, Prime Video, Netflix, Paramount Plus, and Disney Plus. Okay, no Hulu. They're looking at those 5, and of all the shows that they carry, looking at the percentage of franchise shows. So they have a bar here for original franchises of everything that they show. So it's each network to itself, of its own, like of Paramount Plus. 7.6% are original shows on Paramount Plus. 29.4% are franchise shows that are licensed, and 63% are other shows, which could be reruns, could be everything. So of the 5 that they've listed here, and again, Hulu's not here, but of HBO Max, Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus, and Paramount Plus, the biggest chunk of original franchises is Disney Plus. Well, of course, you've got their own. You've got the Mickey House, right? And everything they own now. It's 11% on Netflix for their original franchises. Will you stop and think about that? It's only 4% and 7% on Prime and HBO. The thing is, of all these platforms with the franchise that are licenses that they run programs for, Paramount Plus is the biggest one. The biggest chunk of their audience of these 5, the biggest chunk of original licensed franchises or franchises is Paramount Plus. And not original as in created by the platform. Because you would say, well, it's Paramount. They own Star Trek. Well, no, it was created ahead of time. What was created for the channel? And Star Trek's 29% is the biggest of all. HBO is at 19 and 7. Prime is 25%, 25.9, almost 26. 24% on Netflix. So of all these platforms streaming licensed content from a franchise, the biggest chunk is on Paramount Plus. So Paramount Plus does owe its oomph right now to Star Trek. And people are knocking that, and we've talked about before. They need to diversify. It's like, no, Star Trek is special. You just need to keep making good, but keep making more and good. Stephen, if I click. Terry Matalas said in his interview with Trek Movie that all the post-production on Picard 3 will be complete by the end of September, but P Plus has decided it will come out in early 2022. Well, that's been the window for Picard, right? I mean, I very famously remember it premiered in March 2020 and got what, 2 weeks? We had live premiere parties for Picard, and then everybody had to go underground when COVID hit. So that's kind of its window. The same, Lower Decks has this August window down now after 3 seasons. So that's kind of what we expect. And I should have said that earlier. No, it's in between. It's Strange and Discovery now that seem to have, and Strange is just ahead of Discovery on the next season. So we'll see. We will see. But good point. Yes. What are you saying, Dave? That also presupposes a filter existed in the first place. Oh, old thread. Ha, JR. What you want for Star Trek Day is more greenlit projects. You are not Trek burned out. Yeah. Prodigy's entire season. Thank you. Maybe some interactive day prizes would be great to see. Oh, it would be great to see Jolene on that day. Well, there's mainly one person that's up to, and it's Jolene. Yeah, now that you say this, excuse me, Marina, I've been a little distracted lately, but at the last second, I thought I saw that fly by, but I didn't go back and dwell on it. Yes. Thanks, everybody, for chiming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, your gift list, Chuck. Teaser trailer for Picard Season 3. Yes, and exactly what structure of a starship are they standing on? Starship structure stand-ins. That's what we're all about. Yes, I read the comments. I just read it at the comment time. That's all, Marina. So tell all the Twitchers to hang in there. Yay. And something I didn't say, but I will for everybody, if you haven't figured it out by now, the Facebook folks are only seeing the Facebook comments, but you Twitchers and you YouTubers will see all the comments. Just to say. 200 stars. Woohoo. Yes. Thank you, Marina, for letting her know. Yay. What are you saying here, Marina? You have a feeling that Section 31 is being Section 31, quietly disappearing into pre-production on hold yonder. Well, that could be. It could totally be. It could totally be. And it could totally be somewhere between the writers and Michelle Yeoh's schedule coming back around to it. We will see. Will that turn out to let's hope that Nick Meyer's Con miniseries, it was just a 3-hour miniseries. Let's hope that still sees the light of day somehow and not just being a podcast. Aha. We talked about this last week, Christoph, since we discussed it. Your first round of Voyager documentary perks. Yes. Had to pay 2 euro cents custom duty. Really? And 5 euros for the custom handling lump sum for low value packages. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. But there you go. Definitely. Now, whether it's totally out of the picture or what will happen will be something. Are we on? Are we on, Melanie? Yes. Oh, it's 114 in Modesto. Oh my God. 117 in Ukiah. And 120. Death Valley set a world record the other day, right? Was it 127? Something like that. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's bizarrely, I'm in central Los Angeles and it's 11 degrees cooler here than it is just up in the valley, 20 miles away. But there you go. You got the Santa Monica's in between you. Thank you all for letting her know. After the speech. Ooh, I hope it's not a speech. Is this, I never, Christoph, when I first started doing this, I never stopped to think that was something bizarre. That's just 2017. It's how I got around to everything after I said my opening comment. And I don't do the back and forth thing. I would never get anything finished if we did that. And now I guess, is it just, I'm betting no one else in the entire known universe of streaming and podcasting, cam videoing does anything like that. Everybody either ignores their comments or they answer them as they go along because they have more than one person to help. Larry, we're looking here in the comments and we see, oh, doctor, we see. No, I'm doing it all myself. So, there you go. Hey, Scott, you don't know how popular this is, but you would love to see a Traveler series with Will Wheaton and Issa Briones. Well, there you go. There you go. I'm still holding out for Star Trek West Wing, but that would be, if you're going to go by personalities and characters established, It would be amazing to see them show up on DSC. Oh, the world would melt down if Will Wheaton got on to Discovery. Yeah, Discovery had a great year, but they're far behind the others in production. Yes, they are. They are. Yeah, Noah had a table at STLV, and I did not get over to say hi. I didn't get to say hi to a lot of folks. There's a lot of oddball kinds of new and different things. Partly was that whole 26th floor mess, and partly is because we were so hot on letting folks know about the big tour next year. And really, hasn't Disco been going balls to the wall with Universe Federation threatening enemies every season so far? Well, did you just answer your question, Dave? Oh, look, it's another Federation threatening an enemy so far. Do we really need another giant threat hanging over 10 episodes? No, and I fight against this. Of course, it's what it is and how you structure it. And I wish Disco, it's like they accidentally, every time Discovery accidentally uses the universe hashtag, yeah, I do have this boy with me. Hi, everybody. Every time, well, forget that. Every time they use the universe on Discovery, it's a pleasant surprise, like the Navarre episode, like the Trill episode. But they never let that be the big bad. It's always like an accidental, but people glom onto and love. And someone missed the point that they could have hung the hat on something more universally embedded, even in the 32nd century. So yeah, the Earth show, the Trills show, the Navarre show were kind of the standouts in through the middle of that year and through most of that year. So maybe if they could ever figure out how to use some intrinsically Star Trek core concepts as the big bad, or explore something that's hanging out there from Next Gen or DS9 or just, some beloved aspect that no one's touched, and not do it in a glancing, cheap, oh, look what we're doing this week, but actually really get into the guts of it. That would be awesome. And I think the quality of Discovery has gone up every year. I still think they're just learning. The poor thing was, had a troubled birth, and we'll see. We will see. What's going on? Yeah, John, you're looking forward to Wilson Cruz's set tour. Me too. Me too. I just hope there's enough history there of how the set has evolved and changed. Stuck up there way up there in Toronto where we can't keep an eye on it. Who wouldn't love a Will the Traveler show with Issa as a companion? The BBC going to weigh in here in a minute? They could meet Beverly again and maybe some doctor who also travels with companions. Right. Saw that coming a mile away. You love them all. You don't have an absolute favorite. Well, there you go. Oh my God, you're thinking about baseball. You mean Wilson Cruz? Did I? Oh, I missed that somehow. Yeah, Scott, you're at 112. Well, I hate to tell everybody. Right now, it's, what is it here? Here in LA, it is where I am. It's only 93, and that's the high for today. Yeah. It's 93 in LA, but it's 101 in Burbank because it's just the other side. It's insane. Oh. Okay. Are we running slow here? What's going on? Your hunch too, but the lack of demand for it. And now I'm backtracking to see where we were. Marina. Da, 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 da. About section 31. Yeah, I think some of that is, look, gang, in the very beginning, the halcyon days, it was like, I mean, we all had plenty of ideas. I've had plenty of ideas for ages. West Wing, Romulan War, founding of the Federation, midway between Archer and Kirk, midway between Kirk and Picard. There are tons of places. A Teller Prime show. Pick a planet. Miniseries, if not a series. There's all kinds of, then there's the old, the medical psyops, the Black Ops show, the blah. I mean, there's all kinds of ideas for series, but I think in the beginning, the new kids on the block were sitting around going, oh, what do we do? And a lot of it was personality driven. And I think the same kind of personality drive that eventually caught hold for Anson in a fully realized way, fully sprung by the time you had also cast Ethan and had a Spock right there, and then had Rebecca there as a number one. By the time you got to that season of Discovery, it's like, well, how much more do you need for this damn show? You've got the core right there. I don't think, Michelle, people saying, oh, we should have her be Section 31. Well, that's still amorphous. It didn't come with a ready-made, obvious format envelope. And I think part of the problem between people loved her and catching fire with that idea versus loving Anson and catching fire with his idea, it may have been something as simple as hers came along first when everything was chaotic and nascent and people were just trying to get one damn show done. But also the fact that it was still amorphous and someone would have to go develop the show around what era, what would be the tone, and everything just came together for Anson. They set the tone on Discovery. They showed Discovery a tone they could take. Yeah. And I'm going to say that, and Michelle's doing just fine. She's not sitting at home pining for her lost Star Trek series. But it might have been a matter of timing and circumstance as to why we don't, the groundswell for Section 31 didn't happen, but the groundswell for a Pike show, Strange New Worlds, happened the way it happened, even though both of those actors and what they did in Discovery was so beloved. And it started with the on-screen, the on-set vibe. You could tell everyone talking about it whenever there was a mic in front of anyone's face for a documentary or an interview. It just also translated more to the audience as well. The fact that we knew what an Enterprise with Pike and Spock in number one would look like. Anyway, that's my second opinion. Look for more of those coming to a internet screen near you. Yeah. Oh, thank you, JR. Boy, you guys are so good. Thank you. I'm now reading the parrots. Hey, Jim, you love Lower Decks so much. Join the club. Prodigy is excellent. Disco's first 3 seasons were awesome, and Strange New Worlds was superb. Is there anything you don't like, Jim? Are you just a shill for... Well, no, they're gone now. No, I'm kidding. Picard's first season was so good, but your last season was disappointing, but you're excited for number 3. Wow, okay. So you didn't mention Disco's 4th season. Is that faint praise there? Damning with faint praise? Anyway, maybe I'm reading too much into that. Sounds like otherwise the season of modern Trek you liked the least was Picard season 2 out of everything. Interesting. We can make Star Trek Day better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. Yes. We have the technology. And here's the thing, Marina. I think an awful lot of folks agreed with you, which also did not play in its favor. But what I would always eternally hold the door open for is the possibility that it would not be the kind of Section 31 show we would expect, that it would not be a down and dirty Black Ops kind of a series. It might actually be something quirky and lighthearted. It could be like the grim humor that she has in that character. It could totally reflect that. She could wind up with a a reformed Section 30, the pendulum swing of Section 31, now that we've got it mapped out, starting in Archer's time and going forward, we see where they are as far as having a profile or being underground or being hated or just another department bureau. It's all over the place over time. And we could see her being a part of a transition, either cleaning up the image or maybe sinking in. But whatever happens, having a really, really sick sense of humor. And that was the one thing I was looking forward to if that series had gone ahead. Because no, I'm not thrilled with the idea of a Section 31 either. A lot of people are mortified by it in Star Trek. A lot of people are mortified that Section 31 was even created on DS9 to begin with and wished it had gone away. But here it came, Enterprise. It actually explains a lot. It explains the Pegasus and Pressman. All kinds of things. West Coast away mission. Woohoo. Yes, exactly. And this is the truth. Huge waste to the Guardian forever. I hope we get back to that someday, but there you go. Now comes the guilty conscience. Is that it? This should have been my topic. Do you have a guilty conscience, Star Trek? Dave, you're just feeling spoiled for all of this Trek content available, just like applesauce or dog food. Open a can of more fresh Trek content, with a few favorites edging to the front of the pack and more people to talk about Trek with. Yes, since it's around the corner, Prodigy is exciting me. Yay, yay, yay. I'll have to get Cadet Alice back in and we'll finish up our season. You think Discovery will focus on Federation building? Well, 32nd century style Federation building, but could be. Could be. Taking a quick signless break. Yes, that's the one thing I left at home for this trip was the signs. But you know what? They'll be there. I bet they'll be there on the YouTube edition. What do you think? Picard trailer for sure. Please, God Almighty, what will they reveal? What will they reveal? What was worth burning up, burning down? I've started to mention this. Jonathan getting a letter, mentioning the letter that everyone got a week before Star Trek Las Vegas, not to spoil anything. And he retrieved his good old NDA t-shirt. Meanwhile, across the pond, Christoph is reporting here that DST Dortmund, after the DST England cancellation, really seems to be having its license yanked, but not Germany. So there you go. In 2 weeks, right? 3 weeks. New guests today. Still no lower decks guest. It is only animation, Christoph. What do you expect? No one takes, if you cannot take a punch in live action, it must not have really happened. We'll see. In the cards with the writing, yes. Okay, I've missed your thread here. Hey, Matt, you miss STLV so much. And your roommate who shall remain nameless, the best roommate ever. Okay. All righty then. Awesome, JR. Since meeting Andrea, you've talked about her with your mom, looked for videos, started the book. Thanks again, Larry. You're very welcome. JR, we tried to do all this, as I said, 5 years ago and just couldn't get our arms around getting her on a stage, getting it taped. I've got the tape from LA in 2017, though, which we've kind of sat on, but we'll see how all this goes. We've got the tape from the hour panel the other night still to put out too. May do that in like 2 or 3 parts, just so it doesn't bog down an hour on YouTube, but we'll see. What are you saying here? There was the threat of the DMA pulled the members together faster. Now they consolidate. Yeah. Well, you had the original You had the emerald chain, and then but that was about fear. And then once you broke the emerald chain, and then found a new way to talk the DMA. I mean, it's a lot. It's just echoing what the original United Earth did against the Romulans as a united threat with the Tellarites and Andorians and Vulcans. You're taking that same vibe of a united threat, a joint enemy, as a unifier. What are you saying here, Marina? You're talking more here, Marina, than you did on Portal last week. You notice quietly remove some of the guests. Oh, talking about DST. No more cancellations. So I have your doubts about Jerry and Jonathan coming. We'll see. Watching the Trek Day with us peasants. Well, I mean, guys, we didn't have anything for years and years and years. I'm excited to go to something live, and I'm excited that it's here in LA. Look, everything is East Coast now. Thank you for having LA where people actually live. I mean, the people involved do. So yeah, you betcha. So much stuff. The sets are up in Toronto. We've lost Picard. That was only due to Patrick, not because of that little bitty tax credit they got. Hey, Linda, good to see you. Yay. Absolutely, Greg. Everyone finds that out. STLV is all about the people. Yes. Jerry wants photo ops outdoors. Ethan has canceled. Yes. Am I coming? Apparently not. We'll let things calm down one more year before I go in and pitch back for DST. Funny prediction. Terry will leak something before Thursday. Is that your prediction or your gift list? Either way, you could be true. You could be very, very true. Because, Terry lives in LA, but he's not down to be there live unless he's, I don't know, showing up somehow in the background. So maybe that will be his way. In fact, if you look at this list, there's no, maybe that will be a last minute thing, but there's no showrunners. There's nobody scheduled to be behind the scenes, except aside from whoever the makeup person is that comes to do that fan's makeup. There's no creative personnel, only those uncreative actors. So there you go. Linda, I am fine. I've been 99%, 98% fine all week, but thanks for asking. Without the Paxlovid. Yeah. Second booster in a couple of weeks. You go. Something extraordinary needs to happen for you to give Showmasters another chance, which is the company that produces DST. Well, I guess it's a good thing you don't live in Europe, huh, Marina? Oh. Hey, Dave, I would just ask you to share this sentiment as you see us posting around my channels on Trek Files and then on everything Trekland. I would just say, please try to back that up and share your enthusiasm. Meeting Andrea was incredible and right up there with hearing stories from Adele Simmons. Oh, I have not reached out to Adele for Portal 47. I need to do that. That was great having her on for STLV. And she was shocked how many people wanted to hear from her. I know. Shocked. It's good. She had 250 books. She sold nearly 200. She still got 50, 60 left over, and the site is still up. And I don't know. I should have put the link in this chat. Maybe, Scott, if you're still there, you can. But we will for sure put it up there. I don't know. I will do it before we're off. If somehow Scott doesn't do it before we're out of here, then I'll do it myself. Thank you, John X. Thank you. We did another one that's coming up. The The Orville at number 5 and beat Cobra Kai. Yes, yes, yes. Although, don't knock Cobra Kai. There's a woman, I have her picture from at least 2 different years. There's a woman who cosplays as a Cobra Kai Wynn crossover. And yes, she cosplays as Cobra Kai Wynn. And she has the yellow jacket with the thing on the back and then the Kai Wynn head. And anyway, she's awesome. And her back, her performance, her show jacket says Cobra Kai Wynn. And then she's got the thing. Aha. So what's happening over there, Christoph? The Omicron B1 booster should be available there by the end of next week, 6 days before your trip to DST. Not sure you wait for that as the 4th shot. But won't come here before later in the autumn. Okay, well, happy sorting. Happy sorting on all that. Lord of the Rings will be near the top for a while. Yes, on the parrots. You old parrot watcher, you, John X. This DST will be your last Showmasters event for the foreseeable future. You got your ticket. It was initially announced long before COVID. Right. But not a fan of theirs, eh? Well, the world's... It's going to be an interesting where we're going to still be shaking out with the companies and how things are done. And COVID for good and bad, and the tech and the production that we're able to do in some ways has been revolutionary. But it's not the same old when it comes to live events. And of course, here we've taken the COVID turn around the backside. Yeah, we will see. Oh, well, Matt, we all make our choices. Too busy hashtagging save the Orville, renew the Orville. Well, yeah, especially if you're over 10. Star Trek David, it's only 2 hours and it's in the middle of the day, so we'll see. Thank you for back scrolling. Maria, no, I would never have embarrassed. I could tell after talking to you for a minute that coming in from Brazil, you deserve that little introduction, and I'm glad it tickled you, and I think it tickled everybody else, and I hope that kind of set the tone for the rest of your STLV. I hope you had a great. STLV there too. Yes, that's what I heard, Stephen. Yep. Oh, good. Audio is awesome. Yay. Thank you. Audio is fine. Good. Well, like I said, I had brought my good mic along all this time. I just didn't have a good holder for it. So it's good to know that. Okay, where's the cursor here? How are we doing here on the chat? Dave, no Portal 47. I know, man. I'm so bummed that I didn't have you you didn't click in anyway. But at least the first night during the solo meetup trivia, busy meetings overlapping side. Yeah. Well, the image is... Watch my hair float around. Actually, the image is sharper this week than it was last week. Good. Oh, you have a thing Thursday you can't get out of, Ed. Newly renewed marriage vows, Ed. Where's the best place to catch a replay of the Star Trek Day festivities? It'll just be on all the pages. It'll just be on... I'm sure it'll be reposted on YouTube and Facebook at least. I would think, sir. Snimachek from I am the great and powerful Dr. Trek of Oz. Who are you? Pay no mind to the man in front of the pate curtain. Exactly. You know me too well, John. Yeah. And there you go. Got your answer. Boom. Yeah, they're gonna be getting a lot of mileage out of it after the fact, so they do not want it to go away at all. But The Man Trap is a cheesy horror movie. A little late on that one, aren't you, Matt, there? Hi, Anne Marie. I hope your voice is recovering. Mm-mm-mm. Very true. Some great character moments. Kill it, Doctor is not one of them. Hmm. I hope so. I hope we get some dates. And I don't mean apricots and dates. I mean dates. Date night dates. Yeah. Star Trek MASH. Once we figure out who to cast as Radar. God, Matt, you just don't let anything go. Not my forte, but you're welcome to. Who would play the Radar character in a Star Trek MASH? We could unleash the power of Trekland here on this one. Was Traveler would be great as a short trek, yeah, or a series. Oh, Galinda, you need to watch the interview that Matt did with myself and Terrace Cassidy. It's coming to an internet near you. Christoph, my method of going through comments in the second part of the show is perfectly fine. Sometimes our comments become confusing when there's no context in the comment, but we learn. Once again, I have revolutionized a corner of the internet. it's just I want to have the interaction. I mean, I'd love to have people be able to call in, and that's not going to happen unless I have a second crew person. This is about the max of what I can do right now with my little lonesome as the crew. Mm-hmm. Oh, what are the whales doing in the 32nd century on Disco? Hi, Sean. Sean, I think you've been with us before, yes, but good to have you here anyway and speaking up. All right, Glenn, we'll see you later. Melody. Billions and billions of stars. Actually, Carl Sagan never said that, just like Kirk never said, beam me up, Scotty. Yes. Or Bogey never said, play it again, Sam. Never happened. Absolutely. Allie, hey, you bopped in with us, still trying to send the Star Trek people all the vibes to Caspian, the Starfleet Academy show. I know. What perfect casting that would be, but how good to see you, girl. Yes. Here you go. You need a marketing campaign, Allie. See? Allie and Academy Now. I think that's it. SFA. SSFA. Oh, Nathaniel, you're right. This flew right by me. So sad that Wej Douge lost out to the Hugo in short form video. Being animated works against the show too often. Wej Douge was I said this once before. Of all the times all the current Star Treks talk about how Star Trek is so flexible and how it can be a hospital show or a courtroom show or a comedy or a rom-com, that Lower Decks invented a whole new paradigm of a Trek parody on its own, of a Trek paradigm, a plot. Lower Decks invented an all new, never before seen Star Trek plot genre, and it just blew us all away. We were almost spoiled. It was revolutionary. It was so good. And it was so organic. It was so of Star Trek in its revolutionariness. And you're correct. I think that's one of those, someday there'll be one of those specials. Let's review the Hugos that were mistakes. And there'll be this huge, and yes, the 2022 short form video, people will say, well, the years haven't been kind to this award. And I'm sure we'll all be, trying to give the imaginary honorary Hugo back to Wej Douge and Strange New Worlds. That did get me. Here you go. Boom. There have been many undeveloped Star Trek projects, and the Legion will grow again with the current era, with the Secret Hideout era, the Secret Hideout plots. Secret Hideout format pitches. Serving on Cetacean Ops. Yeah, the whole Gary 7 episode was what we call now a backdoor pilot. It was meant to be a spinoff, the way that Mork, that Laverne and Shirley was a spinoff pilot, a backdoor pilot on Happy Days, and the way that Mork was a backdoor pilot on Happy Days or Laverne and Shirley, the way that the whole Norman Lear empire, everything spun off of On the Family and or the Jeffersons and or, go down the list. Yep. 30 minutes into reading comments from the wonderful audience. Yeah. I think Gary 7 is an idea that could come back now, except the BBC might have an issue with it, but that was totally developed independently of the BBC and Doctor Who. Who knew? No one. See, well, here we go. We're all one big happy fleet, Linda. Everybody can have a different opinion. You love season 2 Picard. Everyone had different tastes. Exactly. I've seen people, and I think Picard and Discovery. I've seen people who are so glad that Discovery jumped ahead for season 3 and got better in 4. And I've seen people who say that Discovery was its apex in season 1 and has gone down ever since. And I've seen people equally debate whether 1 or 2 of Picard. It's like number 3 is going to be the decider. Number 3 is going to be the swing vote there between 1 and 2. We'll see. And yes, Gary 7 could cross over to everything. It's like the Q of not being Q. You don't have to watch out for timelines and time streams the way Guinan was done in on her memory with Picard, because that whole universe didn't happen, which some people seem to rebel against the notion of. You kind of somehow wish they had just made Wesley Crusher Gary 7. I know. Yeah. I forget what the original ply was. We get to see more of that now. There's something for everyone. Picard season 2 too. Oh, okay. We're just talking. I wonder where the end of the chat is. Going through all of your unread books. Wow. A Section 31 novel right now. Well, I wonder if it does it justice. You were late for Ask Dr. Trek last week. It's okay, Marina, we love you. But you made a big impact at the end. Maybe the creative, this crossed my mind I realized that there weren't on any list, and maybe not listing them up front isn't so much about being a surprise as it is just a function of they're all working. And they're all working in LA, so it's who can get away to drive over to the Skirball. And now it's midday, so maybe they can have a writer meeting and then drive over and then get back before the 3 o'clock traffic mess back to Santa Monica or wherever, or Burbank or wherever they are, because Skirball's right there on the 405, and you just don't want to. Yeah, getting a little local there with the traffic and weather. Every 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Oh, you meant Marina coming. I got you. I'd like, yeah. It'd be your task to make a European adventure back over here. Well, I'm going to see, of course, if everybody's boycotting Showmasters and DST, there wouldn't be much point to go. But I have hopes of getting back over. I was over once. Well, twice, actually. Different causes. And some of the causes that got in the way have gone away now. So we'll see. Shocked. Are you now, Anne-Marie? Hey, no, Anne-Marie, you know what they say. I came to Los Angeles for the waters. I was misinformed. There we go. Boom. Thank you, Scott. Everybody, if you want to get an order in for Andy's book signed and personalized before she goes back to Australia, please get your order in now. All righty. It's there. She's only got about 50 and the number's dropping the more the word gets out. So there you go. And like I said, Dave, there we go. I know you just missed it. Thank you, Scott, for getting that in there. Oh, Melody, it's so hot. How hot is it? I was watching an old Johnny Carson last night, by the way. You have to wait till after sundown to go get your mail out of the black metal mailbox so you don't burn your hand. Well, you could wear gloves, but yes. Why are you having a black metal mailbox in the first place? Yeesh, 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 yeesh. You like the black screen effect? I'm wearing this black. This is the 50th anniversary shirt, by the way, from Terrace and I. See there? Da, da, da. And then there's a huge, huge drawing on the back that shows. Anyway, this has been relatively stable, though, I have to say. Wasn't Rom the radar character? Well, we're talking about actors. And guess what? Live show. Live show, gang. All righty. Well, we were talking about actors. And, well, yeah. Okay, fine. Whales. Yes. Whales. Exactly. George and Gracie? Yes. Well, one of them died in the 60s, and one of them died right before his 100th birthday. Yeah. What did they name the calf? You played it for her, you can play it for me. Exactly. We have veered over into the realm of movie trivia. Can we get a New Frontier series? Wow, Jim, I'm going to say probably Not Ever Never. But then, they have a Bricker species character on Prodigy from the novels. I'm just going to say, because if they do that, then they're paying, gone blank. They're paying him for his original characters and for the whole universe conceit, even though it was done as a Star Trek franchise, licensed spinoff. So he didn't really own the characters, but I think for TV needs, might have to be paid for any characters that he made. Yes. Lower Deck has comedy, heart, and intrigue. It has the pathos. It has the logos. It has the ethos. Is it all? Starfleet Academy in San Francisco, will the Golden Gate Bridge still be intact in the future? I don't know. Why do we need bridges? We have. That was a lovely little diatribe by Mariner in the opener for the season. Why do we even have a bridge? Here it is, the end of the chat. Thank you. Nice shirts. Linda, well, come on a tour and you can get one too. Thank you, Glinda. Mailboxes are metal and they're painted black. Hot. No, I know. Thank you too, Carl. Yeah. Let me see. I lost where did we get to? There we go. The sneeze froze my screen? Did it really? These are really good. Terrace is really good about picking out the you all know the famous 2014 blue one that I wear. It's almost hard for me not to go to a con without it. In fact, the time that I was, here we go. Oh, yay, Bobbies. Anyway, the time that I was cosplayed at Vegas, Randy Burnett, he borrowed this to cosplay me. It's funny. I think we are, thank you, Carl, Peter David. Good Lord, I could not think of Peter David's name for the life of me. Boom. Here we go. There we go. Thank you. So that's in and out, and a cloak shirt. Yes. It's the shirt of cloaking. Absolutely. The ubiquitous Larry Bowling shirt. I know. Well, everybody on the 2014 tour had one too, but there we go. Hey, everybody. Wait, what? Did I miss? I guess not. I think that's the end of the chat, gang. And I am signless. So I'm just going to say, please spread the word. We had the link there. If you haven't got one for yourself, consider getting one of Andy's books before they're gone. Her big full memoirs comes out in November, but this was the special edition she brought just for Vegas. If you are interested at all if you are on the cruise next spring and you're interested about jumping in with that, the link is up. I've got to add another day for the day after the tour returns and disembarks. I've got a lot of stuff I need to get on with. And most of all, if you are interested in the big 10-day tour, the West Coast Away mission, you can get to LarryNemecek.com, check out the link, and go over to which takes you to Geek Nation Tours, and the entire tour is listed out. Although we've only got about 4 of the actors and celebrities that we've got signed up for it. We've got more to come as we get them confirmed and we get closer in. So it's never too late to start saving your pennies and doing that. Otherwise, yes, it's Star Trek Day Eve, and I can't wait to see what happens Thursday. I'm totally happy to catch the virtual experience. I'm hoping that by next week, I will see some socials. All you folks picking it up, not just in New York, Chicago, and LA, but Sao Paulo and London and Melbourne, was it? I love to see what people are posting around, and I'm sure StarTrek.com will be trying to boost that too as well. There we go. There we go. So we were a little late getting started today, but hopefully I'll be back in the actual home Trekland HQ studio next week. I've been gone a while. So folks, yeah, it's not a trite, overdone thing now to say, stay healthy, do all the things, stay woke, check your sources, and hold it in front of you as you trek well, everybody.